Hey everybody, Instagram fam, everybody out there who's gonna see this video. It's been a while since I done a video where I like to call it Testimony Tuesday, but this has been in my heart for a very long time, and I've been meaning to get around to talking about it. I ain't got all fixed up, but I was like, you know what, I ain't gotta be all that just to say that what I have to say. But yeah, the reason I'm so passionate about my brand, Shesthirsty. When I first came up with the idea, of course, Shesthirsty, to do the books, to do the t-shirts and everything, it was around 2019. And when I came up with the idea to do it, I'm so excited. I'm talking to one of my friends, Destiny, who's always listening to what I have to say about my ideas. And so I talked to her about an idea I had to Shesthirsty, and we coming up with t-shirts, and the idea was just flowing through me, and I was super excited about it. I had never had something that I felt like it was just from God, like it was Holy Spirit inspired. And as time went on, the inspiration just stuck with me. She's thirsty. But at first, before I came up with the name Shesthirsty, the word thirsty, all I had was the word thirsty. And I didn't know at the time that would be so, if it was even from God, or it was just my imagination, or it was just my mind. I didn't know. So I'm getting inspired, and I'm telling my sister about it. I knew I was going to write a book about being thirsty. I didn't know what the name was going to be called. And like one day, because I wanted to do Thirsty Girls, and I had several names that I was going to go with when I first came up with Thirsty. And so one day I'm in the gym, and I'm thinking, and I work out, and there's somebody I follow who has a brand, and I think she got issues or something like that, and that she part stuck out to me, and I was like, okay, I'll go with Shesthirsty. And it was like, yes, that's what it's going to be called. I'm going to call my brand Shesthirsty. And so from that point on, that's what I was settled on. I began to, say, okay, I'm going to get an LLC. I'm going to patent this. I'm going to take this idea. This is from God. And I'm over my sister's house one day, and she's giving me the slogan idea name for it, and that's how we ended up in John 4, and that's how I kind of got that message from John 4, and it was like God, the Holy Spirit was leading me with that word into the word. He was leading me with the word thirsty into the word, where to look for the word thirsty, and that's why my slogan was made of living water, quench your thirst. So it came from the book of John 4, and then I began to read the Bible, but then I realized that word was really reading me. I was reading the Bible, but the Bible read me. That's what you find out. That's how you know it's the Holy Spirit. You think you're reading the Bible, but in actuality, the Bible is really reading you. But anyway, I'm going to get to my point on this testimony, like I said. So I got my name, Shesthirsty, got my slogan, made a living water, quench your thirst. And I knew eventually that I wanted to get the LLC. And during the time, I was kind of having some financial issues and things like that, and I was talking to people about, like, how much is a LLC, how much is it? Some people said 200, others said 100. But anyway, as I'm talking to my sister about it, one day I was just, because I got so inspired, I went into the craft store, Michael's, and I'm looking around the craft store in Michael's, and I'm just like inspired, I want to go in there, and I'm so inspired. So I'll make my own shirts, I ain't got to pay nobody or nothing like that. So that's why I went in Michael's, and I'm going down the aisle, and I'm asking one of the associates, where is like the things you would use to create t-shirts with. And she take me down a couple of aisles, and I'm just down the aisle just looking, and I tell her thank you, and she takes me down the aisle where all the t-shirts is, the different colors, the different designs, and the different things that people use when they do create t-shirts. But anyway, I'm getting to my testimony. The reason why, and this is the reason why I know that Shesthirsty and was from the Holy Spirit and from God. Anyway, So I'm down the aisle, and there's this woman who I do not know. I never met her. She's in that same aisle as I am, and she's going through the aisle, just looking at different things. And we spark up a conversation, which is odd because sometimes, I speak and I'm friendly to people, but sometimes not. It's hard to know who to talk to. When you're speaking, the conversation, I wasn't expecting to really go into a deep conversation with her, but I'm talking to her about how I got this idea about t-shirts, and she's telling me that she's getting some designs to design her house, a house that she's going to have built. So we talking, and she starts talking about, I starts telling her about my idea for t-shirts, and I'm just talking, just innocently talking to her, no expectation of nothing, just telling her about my t-shirt idea. And so she starts saying that her brother, who had been killed, used to be really into creating t-shirts. And I was like, wow, I'm so sorry to hear about that, but that's amazing. And so anyway, we're talking, and she's starts, we were talking, and I was like, so sorry to hear about her brother. And then I'm telling her that I'm trying to I said, I got to get an LLC on this idea that I have about t-shirts. And I said, I think it was getting close to income tax season or something. And I was like, well, I'll probably have to wait till my income tax to come up with a couple $100, because that's how much they said that it is. And it's a couple $100. And she said, no, it's only like $100 to get your LLC. And I was like, oh, okay, well, surely I'll come up with that eventually. And she said, no. And this is the part that I knew that God was with me, and I wanted to cry. She said, no, we ain't gonna wait on getting that LLC. She goes into her back pocket, pull out a fresh Crips $100 bill, and tell me, go ahead and get that LLC for your She's Thirsty. She said, don't wait. And then she just left. I was about to cry. She said, oh, don't do it, don't cry. And she just gave it to me and left, and didn't expect nothing, and just left and said, have a good day. She gave me that $100 for my first LLC. And if I hadn't went in Michael's, I wouldn't have never got that from the $100. I would have never met the lady. And I wish I could meet that lady again. I never got her name, her number, or anything. She didn't even know me. She didn't know if I was even lying. She went into her back pocket and gave me $100. And I said all that to say this. She gave me my first $100 for my LLC. That was 2019. That's why I'm pushed myself to keep flowing with my She's Thirsty idea. And I know that it's from the Holy Spirit, because when he was telling me basically he was gonna make the way for me to do it, even if I didn't really know where I was gonna get it from or how I was gonna do it. And that's the inspiration I want to give to you or somebody that would listen to this message, is that if you have an idea or if there's something you want to do, just be in position, be in expectation, because you don't know who God gonna touch their heart to give you that idea. If you know that it came from within, if it came from God, or if it came from within, you know in your heart that that's what God called you to do, he would make the way. He would bless you through people that don't even know you. Other people were probably laughing at my idea. I know they were. But that lady didn't even know me, didn't even ask me what the idea was. Didn't even know if I was telling the truth. Went in her back pocket, pulled out $100, gave me the money to get my first LLC. And being a procrastinator, I didn't go right away, but within that week, I kept that $100 because I knew that was from God, and I didn't want to lie to her, and I wanted to keep the word to myself. I kept that $100, and one day I put the money on my card, and I paid for that LLC for this She's Thirsty brand. And my point, I've been meaning to tell that testimony. I didn't want to tell it till after it had kind of come into fruition. I done finished the book. So all I want to do is just encourage somebody today that God will make the way for you to market your idea, to get that LLC, to do that idea that he has given to you, no matter what it is. And y'all be blessed and be strong. And that is my testimony Tuesday today. I ain't even expect to get emotional about it. But like I said, I didn't know that lady. And she gave me $100 to get my first LLC. I didn't even have the money. She didn't even know me. And I've been meaning to post this and make a video about this for a while now. And I kept putting it up, and I know it's time today. It's Tuesday. It's Testimony Tuesday. So All I can say is just be in perfect position, and God will send the help to you to help you do your ideal. Y'all have a blessed evening. Praying for y'all. Stay safe. Bye.